Diego Santos wrapped his hands carefully, the way his grandfather had taught him, the same way Filipino warriors had done for hundreds of years before stepping into battle. But this wasn't ancient warfare. This was the Iron Cage Gym in Las Vegas, and the battle he was about to face would determine everything. Diego had trained in Arnis, Filipino stick fighting, since he was 7 years old. His grandfather, a master who'd learned from masters before him, had taught him that Arnis wasn't just about sticks. It was about angles, timing, reading an opponent's body before they even moved. In Arnis, we don't block and counter, his grandfather would say. We counter while blocking, we attack while defending. Everything is one motion, walang hinto, no stopping. Now, at 26, Diego had spent 3 years trying to break into professional MMA. He'd won 12 amateur fights, trained harder than anyone in his gym, saved every dollar from his construction job to afford training fees. Today, he'd finally gotten his chance. Marcus the Hammer. Davidson was in Las Vegas preparing for his next UFC championship defense, ranked number 2 in the world. 32 wins, 2 losses, known for his devastating knockout power and trash talk that sold pay-per-views. The Hammer needed sparring partners. Diego's coach had called, "Marcus's camp wants fresh bodies. It's just sparring, but if you impress them, who knows?" Diego arrived at Iron Cage Gym 2 hours early. The facility was massive, professional-grade octagon, world-class equipment, walls covered with photos of champions. Marcus walked in with his entourage. 6'2", 185 pounds of pure muscle, designer workout gear, Bluetooth headphones, the confidence of a man who'd never known real defeat. He looked at Diego and smirked. "Who's this? They send me a little Filipino guy?" Diego was 5'9", 155 pounds, compact, fast, but next to Marcus, he looked small. "I'm Diego Santos, sir. Thank you for the opportunity to—" "Save it," Marcus interrupted. "Just try to last 5 minutes without crying." The other fighters in the gym laughed. Diego noticed the rattan sticks in his gear bag, his Arnis training tools. "What's with the sticks? You here to do some dancing?" Marcus asked. More laughter. "It's Arnis, sir. Filipino martial arts. It's Arnis." Marcus's grin widened. "Oh man, you're one of those traditional martial arts guys. Let me guess, you think your stick dancing is gonna work in a real fight?" "It's not dancing, it's—" "Kid, I don't care what you call it. Kali, Eskrima, Arnis, it's all the same playground game. That traditional stuff is useless. There's a reason you don't see Arnis guys in the UFC, because it doesn't work." Diego felt his chest tighten. His grandfather's art, generations of warriors, dismissed as playground games. "With respect, sir, Arnis has been used in actual combat for—" "Combat? When? The 1800s? Modern fighting evolved past that stuff." Diego wanted to defend his art, but Marcus was already putting on his gloves. "Let's go. Show me what your stick dancing taught you." They entered the octagon. Marcus didn't go light. The moment the buzzer sounded, he exploded forward. Jab, cross, leg kick, all power, all speed. Diego tried to use his footwork, the angles his grandfather taught, but Marcus was too big, too strong, too experienced. A hard jab caught Diego's nose. Blood. A leg kick buckled his knee. Marcus pushed him against the cage and landed body shots that made Diego gasp for air. "Where's your Arnis now?" Marcus whispered, loud enough for everyone to hear. Diego tried to slip a punch using an Arnis deflection technique. It worked for a second, but Marcus adjusted instantly, caught him with a hook, and Diego went down. The gym erupted in cheers for Marcus. Diego lay on the mat, ears ringing, nose bleeding, pride shattered. Marcus stood over him. "That's what I thought. Traditional martial arts don't work, kid. Go learn real fighting." Diego sat in his car for an hour after, still in training gear, staring at his rattan sticks. His phone buzzed. A message from his grandfather. "How did it go, Apo?" Diego couldn't bring himself to reply. But as he sat there, bleeding and humiliated, something hardened inside him. Marcus was wrong. Arnis wasn't useless. 3 months later, Diego hadn't stopped training. Not for one day. But he'd changed everything about how he trained. He flew back to the Philippines, found his grandfather in their small town in Cebu. "Lolo, teach me everything, not the sport version, the real Arnis, the one that was used in war." His grandfather smiled, finally ready to learn Apo. For 2 months, Diego trained 6 hours a day. His grandfather taught him what tourists never saw, the brutal efficiency of Arnis, how every empty-hand technique came from weapons principles, how to read micro-movements in shoulders and hips, how to enter at angles that made size irrelevant. "Arnis is about time and space," his grandfather explained. "You don't need to be stronger. You need to arrive first. You need to be where he doesn't expect." Diego studied old masters, watched footage of Filipino fighters who'd used Arnis principles in real combat. He learned that Bruce Lee had trained in Filipino martial arts, that Dan Inosanto, one of the greatest martial artists alive, was a Filipino Kali master. The evidence was there. Arnis worked. It just needed someone who truly understood it. Back in Las Vegas, Diego got a call from his coach. "You're not going to believe this. Marcus's next opponent dropped out, injured. They're looking for a replacement. It's short notice. 2 weeks. You interested?" Diego's heart raced. "It's sanctioned. Official UFC prelim fight. If you win, you're in the organization." "I'll take it." When the fight was announced, Marcus posted on social media, "They're giving me the stick dancing kid? This'll be over in 1 round. Easiest paycheck ever." The post went viral. MMA forums mocked Diego. "REP Diego Santos. Arnis versus real fighting. We know how this ends." But Diego didn't respond. He just trained. Fight night arrived. The arena was packed. 15,000 people. Diego walked to the octagon, his grandfather's words in his head. "Size doesn't matter. Timing does. Make him think you're where you're not." Marcus entered to thunderous applause. The favorite, the star. They touched gloves. Marcus smirked. "Try to last longer than 3 minutes this time," the referee signaled. The fight began. Marcus came forward aggressively, just like in sparring. Big looping right hand. But this time, Diego saw it differently. He'd drilled this 10,000 times. Diego used an Arnis entry angle, 45 degrees inside the punch. His left hand parried Marcus's arm just enough. His right hand was already moving, a short elbow that came from the same motion as an Arnis stick strike. It caught Marcus clean on the jaw. Marcus stumbled. His eyes went wide. He hadn't seen it coming. Diego didn't stop. Another Arnis principle, overwhelm. He threw a combination that looked like chaos but was pure precision. Each strike set up the next. Each angle created the next opening. Marcus tried to clinch. Diego used an Arnis limb destruction technique, a sharp strike to Marcus's incoming arm that made him wince and pull back. Then Diego saw it. The opening his grandfather had taught him to recognize. Marcus's weight was on his front foot. His left hand was low, his head was on the center line. Diego executed a picture-perfect Arnis entry. He crashed Marcus's guard with his lead hand, while simultaneously throwing a straight right, the same motion as a thrust with a stick. It landed perfectly. Marcus went stiff and fell backward. The crowd exploded. Diego stood there, stunned. The referee was counting. Marcus wasn't getting up. 10! It's over! 29 seconds. That's how long it took. Diego had just knocked out the #2 ranked UFC fighter in under 30 seconds using techniques from an art Marcus had called playground games. The arena went insane. Commentators were screaming, "Did we just see what I think we saw? Did he just use Filipino martial arts to knock out Marcus Davidson in 30 seconds? Marcus eventually stood, dazed and confused. He looked at Diego with genuine shock. What did you do?" Diego helped him to his feet. "Arnis, the art you called useless." In the post-fight interview, Diego was asked, "How did you do it?" "My grandfather taught me that Arnis isn't about sticks," Diego said into the microphone, his voice carrying through the arena. "It's about timing, angles, understanding that size and strength don't matter if you arrive first. Marcus is an incredible fighter, but he underestimated an art that's been tested in real combat for hundreds of years. He underestimated Filipino warriors." The clip went viral. Within hours, Arnis was trending worldwide. Gyms across the globe started teaching Filipino martial arts. What had been dismissed as stick dancing was suddenly recognized for what it always was: a sophisticated, battle-tested fighting system. Marcus later posted an apology. "I was wrong. I disrespected an entire martial art and culture. Diego taught me that true fighting isn't about what's trendy. It's about what works. Respect to Filipino martial arts." Diego's grandfather watched the fight from their home in Cebu. When Diego called him afterward, his grandfather was crying. "You didn't just win a fight, Apo," he said. "You honored every master who came before you. You showed the world that our art, our heritage, deserves respect." Years later, when fighters asked Diego how to succeed, he'd tell them, "Never let anyone tell you your culture, your heritage, your art isn't valuable. Train it properly, understand it deeply, then prove them wrong, not with words, but with excellence. That's how you earn respect." Because in the end, the best response to being underestimated isn't anger. It's a 30-second knockout that the world will never forget.